Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Thursday, May 11, 2023. Stand up for your country. So a few hours ago, I got a call from Donald Trump, the former president of the United States. Now, he never signals me that he's going to call. He has my private number. Very few people on the earth do have that. So he calls. And of course, I'm going to take the call. I'm a news guy. So we spoke for about 10 minutes. He's very happy with the town hall. Very happy. I didn't have much to say because why would I? I just debriefed him about what happened in New Hampshire, how he felt about it, what he's going to do now. Not my job or role to say anything unless he asks me. Okay, so that happened, and I got some pretty good information to share with you. And he's happy, but lots of people are not happy about that town hall, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So I'm going to slow it down because there's a lot here, and I want to be fair as always. The town hall, in my opinion, was a shipwreck. Okay? What is a town hall supposed to be? Two things. It's supposed to give audience members a chance to ask the president or who's ever the subject of the town hall questions and get information. That's number one. Can you remember one thing the audience asked Donald Trump? I can't. All right. Number two, the moderator of the town hall is supposed to get as much information out of the subject as humanly possible. That didn't happen. And here's why. When you go in to interview Donald Trump, and I've done it scores of times, as you all know, you know what you are getting. Everybody knows that Trump has his greatest hits. It's like if you go to a concert by the classic rock group The Turtles, they are going to sing Happy Together. There's nothing you can do. If you're in the arena with the Turtles, you're going to hear Happy Together. Okay? So if Trump is sitting across from you, you're going to hear his greatest hits. What are the greatest hits? The election was rigged, 2020. Okay? January 6th was mostly peaceful with good people. Vladimir Putin is smart, and the country is going to hell. Those are the four top greatest hits of Donald Trump, and he's going to tell you about them no matter what you do. Okay? So, enter the moderator, 31-year-old Kaitlan Collins, a CNN host. Ms. Collins is very talented and very smart, but she's 31 years old. When I was 31, I was lucky I wasn't in the penitentiary. She also has no mentors at CNN because there is no one there, no one, who knows how to interview anybody. Okay, they just don't have the skill set. If Kaitlan Collins had spent a few hours on the phone with me, that interview that she did or the moderation that she did would have been 1,000 times better because I would have told her what I'm telling you. You don't go in as a prosecutor. You don't tell a former president that he's lying. You don't challenge the greatest hits because you know he's not going to admit he is wrong. Ever. Okay? Ever. If you read the United States of Trump, his own son told me in his whole life, Donald Trump has never admitted being wrong once. Not once. The closest he ever came was my interview with him about John McCain when he disparaged the senator's POW status. That's the closest he came. And he didn't admit he was wrong then, but it was close. Okay. So Kaitlan Collins wanted to prove her mettle, M-E-T-T-L-E, to CNN viewers who are primarily left-wing. So therefore, she interrupted. She had to interrupt sometimes. I interrupt Trump. I interrupted Obama. You have to, because they'll just go on forever. But she was accusatory. And that put Trump in a I'm going to steamroll this person mode rather than having a conversation. Okay? Now let me give you some examples of all of this. So the first thing is the election. That should have never come up with Kaitlan Collins. Trump is going to bring it up anyway. All right? He was going to bring it up because he always brings it up. And he's not going to back off no matter what you do. Roll the tape.
And that was a rigged election, and it's a shame that we had to go through it. It's very bad for our country. All over the world, they looked at it, and they saw exactly what everyone else saw. I've never spoken to a crowd as large as this, and that was because they thought the election was rigged. And they were there proud. They were there with love in their heart. That was an unbelievable, and it was a beautiful day.
When you were in office, you said that you respected President Putin. Do you still respect him today?
He made a tremendous mistake. He's a smart guy. I think it's a very sad thing for our country. I think it's a very sad thing, frankly, for the world, because if you look at what's gone to our country has gone to hell.
All right, so they're the greatest hits right there. I mean, they just come down for you. So there's a way to get at the rigged election thing. Kaitlan Collins was confrontational. No, that's not true. All right? No. Your people filed 60 lawsuits and they lost them all. Actually, the number is 42 if you really want to cut it down. But all right, we'll just take the 60. The way to ask that question is not to say you're a liar, Donald Trump, okay? Is to say, I'm looking at my research here, and the Trump organization filed 42 or 60, whatever number you want to use, okay, actions in court, and you lost them all. How do you explain that, Mr. President? And you ask it in that tone, okay? So I did that, and I have a soundbite. I don't know if it's cued, but let's try to get it. I did that on January 6th. Okay, so Trump says it's a beautiful day. They were all there protesting. Most of them were peaceful. That's his line. Okay, now here's what I said in the history tour in 2021. Go. But now they say you didn't act fast enough to quell the riot as it was happening. How do you reply to that? Okay, now I didn't get an answer. He did not answer that question. But I couldn't force him to answer it. However, I asked you in a measured tone, how to reply to people saying you didn't act fast enough to quell the riot. Because he didn't. He waited about 2.5 hours. But he's not going to answer the question. You have to ask it. So Ms. Collins' tone, now you saw my tone. Here's Kaitlan's tone. Go.
But when it was clear to you that they were not being peaceful, you saw them rushing the Capitol, breaking windows, they were hitting officers with flagpoles, tasing them, beating them up. When it was clear they weren't being peaceful, why did you wait 3 hours to tell them to leave the Capitol?
Okay, Trump didn't answer the question then. He's never going to answer the question. Ever. Okay, so you have a situation where you've got to know who your interview subject is. And you've got to get as much out of that person as you can. But some things you're never going to get from Barack Obama, from Hillary Clinton, from Donald Trump, from any politician. They're never going to give you. And that's where this thing went off the rails, okay? And it got confrontational between Kaitlan Collins and Donald Trump. And that was a disservice, okay? So pretty much at the end of it, it reached a head. Roll the tape.
But that's the question that investigators have, I think, is why you held on to those documents when you knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return them.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's the answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to. You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
She was being a wise guy or gal or whatever. That's why I asked it. Again, you've got to control and discipline yourself. You can be tough, but you can't. And then she steps out of that role. And you heard the audience. They were Republicans, remember, and they were siding with Trump. So again, Ms. Collins did that because she was afraid that her left-wing constituency would call her too soft on Trump. Well, the left-wing constituency condemned that town hall every way you could condemn it. So not only didn't Kaitlan Collins get information as much as she could have, as much as I would have gotten, okay? Because I told Donald Trump on a number of occasions, you didn't answer the question. You didn't answer it. And he doesn't, he doesn't care whether he answered it or not. So I'm sitting there. I sympathize with Kaitlan Collins. So I learned under Mike Wallace, okay? And Mike Wallace is the best interviewer of all time. And he kind of adopted me. He liked my style because my style was modeled kind of after him. And I watched him. You may remember when Mike Wallace interviewed the Ayatollah Khomeini, one of the most heinous villains this earth has ever seen. And he was in Tehran, and Wallace is sitting there with this monster, okay, this mass murderer. And Wallace was basically conciliatory, okay? You remember when he said, I'm sorry I have to ask this. I mean, he wasn't fawning, but he was putting himself in a position not to create tension, but to get some answers, which Wallace did. All right, and Ayatollah Khomeini looked like a complete idiot. So there is a science to interviewing. You have to be part surgeon and part prize fighter. I remember my interview with Barack Obama in the White House before the Super Bowl when he had endorsed the Muslim Brotherhood to lead the country of Egypt, which to me was absolutely appalling. All right? How can you put these thugs, these killers, and you give the President of the United States seal of approval? And I said that to him. I said, really? You're going to endorse the Muslim Brotherhood? They're killers. But I didn't say it in an accusatory way. Look, I'd like you to answer the question. I didn't do that. I got hate mail all over the place, okay, from people who hated Obama going, you did, you should have, they wanted me to crush him, just as the far left wanted Ms. Collins to crush Trump. You can't take the bait, all right, if you are an interviewer. Bill O'Reilly here. Like most Americans, I'm trying to cut down on calories and sugar. That means no soda, iced tea, or fruit juice. Thankfully, I recently discovered this drink called Organic Trio. I swapped out high sugar drinks for Trio, and I feel much, much better. Each beverage is only 15 calories with 1 gram of sugar, and it tastes good. Trio is produced by the same family that developed Snapple. So it's no surprise they know how to make a great tasting drink. Trio's secret ingredient is water tapped directly from birch trees. It's plant-based, naturally sweet. Trio is caffeine-free, organic, kosher, vegan, and gluten-free. So please go check them out at drinktrio.com. Again, that's drinktrio.com. Now available nationwide at Walmart. All right, let's go to the mail. Don. Hey, Bill, regarding the foreign payments to the Biden family, suspicious activity. These events occurred before and apparently during the time Bill Barr was Attorney General. Was this information hidden from the public by Barr? No, because it broke when the Hunter Biden laptop was discovered. And that was during Biden's term. So Barr didn't have anything to do with it. I doubt Hunter Biden. This is from Al, concierge member. Al gets direct access to me. I doubt whether Hunter Biden or other members of his family pay any price for their criminal actions. Not so fast, Al. Due process. Hunter Biden is done. He's going to get convicted. He'll plead guilty. Joe, looks bad. We got to wait. More evidence is needed. Robert, concierge member. As I watch the press conference on Biden, I firmly believe the man and his family are corrupt. That is your right to believe that. My question is, as Biden was vice president, Obama had to know what he was doing. No, didn't have to know. President and vice president, they're not even in the same building. So I wouldn't go to that extent. Jan Kubris, concierge member. Jan, thank you. Hey, Bill, why would they go solely for civil charges against Trump and not criminal charges? Because you could have never, ever convicted Trump of rape when the woman didn't even know what year it happened. And neither did her two friends who she told about it, allegedly. Come on. I mean, you could punch holes in that case all day long. All day long. Tom Spurlock, Yorba Linda, California. John Wick mentality, that's correct. Sociological grooming promotes mass chaos. The mental acceptance of anarchy is needed to promote chaos. That is the Marxist playbook. You're right. They want to bring the country down, the far left. Lucas Long, St. Paul, Minnesota. Do you think we'll ever return to the days when our country was united? I hope so. We need a charismatic leader to do that. That's what we need. Carrie Stickle, Philadelphia. I'm happy to be back as a premium member. Why did you leave, Carrie? Send me a letter. Why did you leave? Thank you for all your team does, Bill. I'm wondering why you're not on a beach in Hawaii. I want to be on a beach in Hawaii, okay? But I have a mission. And now the mission is exploding because we're expanding so rapidly here. If you read the Wall Street Journal article, we're the most successful independent news agency on earth. So I just can't go to Hawaii as much as I would love to. I got stuff to do, as they say. Lloyd Richmond, Farmington, Utah. Team Normal initiated our Mother's Day celebration. She loves the mugs. Thank you for inserting Team Normal into our society. Team Normal's taken off. You love your country. You want to see it improve, but send a message. We're not Team Crazy. We're Team Normal. And we got hats. We got shirts. We got ladies' shirts that are great. And mugs and everything. Team Normal. Dad's Day coming up. There are the shirts for the ladies. Dad's Day is coming up. We got good stuff. You buy Killing Legends and Killing the Mob together, $18. Fabulous deal. Crazy Horse and United States of Trump together, $18. Word of the day, do not be a Nimrod. N-I-M-R-O-D. Back with the final thought in a moment. Well, you did the tough thing during COVID. You paid your people and pulled your business through the pandemic. And now you could qualify for up to $26,000 per employee at covidtaxrelief.org. Government funds are available to reward companies with 2 or more employees who stayed open during COVID. This is not a loan. You don't have to pay it back. Nobody knows about this more than the CPAs and tax experts at covidtaxrelief.org. You pay nothing up front. They do the work and share a percentage of the cash they get back for you. Even those businesses who took PPP loans can qualify. Nonprofits and churches as well. So let covidtaxrelief.org help you get up to $26,000 per employee. Visit covidtaxrelief.org. That's covidtaxrelief.org. All right, here we go with the final thought. We have posted on BillO'Reilly.com some of the history tour to show you the difference between when I interview Donald Trump and when CNN interviews Donald Trump. Here's a little preview. Go. So I'm trying to assess Putin and Xi. Who between the two is a bigger threat to America?
When you have nuclear, everybody's a threat.
But you still haven't answered my question. Who's more dangerous?
I think, honestly, they're both dangerous. It depends on what day you're talking about.
All right. That kind of candor, there it is. So it's on BillO'Reilly.com. You all can go. You don't have to be a premium member, concierge member. You should be. Okay? You get lots of great stuff if you are. but I want everybody to take a look, and then you can compare and contrast. So there's a way to do this, even with a very difficult interview subject like Donald Trump. And he is difficult because, as we said, he and the Turtles have their greatest hits. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. New column Sunday noon, and we'll see you again on Monday. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.